is gonna be the person that was gonna come out on top no matter what. In any situation you put me in, I will come out on top no matter what. Responsibility gives you the power over your life, and blame takes it away. Blame gives that abuser or that person that was bad to you or whatever they did to you, that gives them power. But you have that power. When you take responsibility and are like, you know what, whatever you did to me, how many times you lied to me, how many times you cheated, I am still gonna come out on top. When you do that, you win. You win. And don't become addicted to your suffering. A lot of you guys are so addicted to feeling that sensation of that stress again. A lot of people around me even that also come from an abusive childhood, they act constant new drama. They create for themselves constantly because that's the only thing they knew, and that's what they're kind of addicted to. That feeling of that rush again, that drama again. But don't become addicted to it. Have some, you know what? Start to realize I'm not that person anymore. I'm not that abused child. I'm not that person that was cheated on. I'm not that person anymore. I'm a different person now. I don't need to create those situations again for myself. I don't need to fight like I used to. My life is calm now. My life is peaceful. And start to make that your reality. Say like, you know what, now I have a good life. I have a great life actually, you know. Start to say that to yourself and start to acknowledge that that's the past. What has happened has happened. That doesn't define me today. That's not who I am today. And you guys are not going to treat me like that's who I am today. Also start to realize that who feeds you and who takes from you, okay? So when I was a lot around my previous partner, I started to think, I'm depressed. I'm sad, like I'm always sad, I'm isolated. This is who I am. That's what I constantly thought. But why did I think that? Because I didn't have any friends or family around me. So I was alone with this person constantly. So they could just make my mind in whoever they wanted to be. And I started to believe that this is just who I am. But the minute I came and I visited my family, I reconnected with old friends, I realized I feel alive around these people. I feel like I want to live. And that's something that I hadn't felt in a very, very long time. Because my previous partner was just taking from me. Taking, and leaving me empty. But when I'm here now, I'm starting to realize it's an equal give and exchange. I don't feel sleepy around these people. I don't feel drained. I don't feel like I want to take my life. I feel like I want to live. So when I understood the difference, and after that, I even think about like, oh, my previous partner, I'm like, no, I don't want to ever do that again. Because I never want to feel how I felt, how bad I felt. I want to continue being around people who I can give to and that give me the same way back in an energetical sense. Always feel it. You will feel it when you feel fulfilled. When you come home from someone, let's say a friend, and you feel like, oh my God, I need to sleep for 10 days now. That person has drained you. That's not your person. You should feel like, oh my God, I have so much energy. You know, I reconnected with this old friend of mine, and whenever I'm around her, I don't even need sleep. We can go on for days and days and days, and we just have fun. So choose wisely who you surround yourself with, because that will also shape who you become. I recently have been meeting a lot of people, and I came from isolation to meeting a lot of people, and I'm starting to realize, okay, I want to hang out with you, but I wouldn't hang out with you. Not because they're a bad person, but because their lifestyle doesn't align with what I would want in my life. For example, I've noticed that a lot of people have alcohol addiction. A lot of people have substance addiction, especially now in this world and in the age that we live in. And I was looking at that, and they party constantly and all these things, and I was thinking like, you know, if I become friends with you, like really close friends, and we go out and stuff, I don't want that to become my life, because I can see how it would distract me from my work and my purpose in this world, and I feel like I would just get lost, you know. So I then choose my friends, like for example that old friend that I reconnected with, she has the same morals as me. That's the same kind of vibration I'm on. If you choose people that constantly like, that aren't really connected to themselves and want to escape from reality, because that's what I truly think that alcohol, substance, all these things are. You just don't want to face reality. You don't want to face yourself. So if you surround yourself with people that constantly party, do that, and want to escape reality, you'll become the other person as well. And eventually you'll feel like you're losing yourself. Nothing in excess is good. Too much of anything is bad for you. I think in the long run, if you hang out with people, you just become them. You can even see that physically, people, best friends and stuff, they start to look alike. Your aura gets mixed and your energy get mixed. If you look at this person and you think, I would not want to be like them, I would not want to live the way they live, then that's not your person. And then you choose people that do align to your lifestyle and who you want to be. Also start looking at what are people, what are books, what are TV shows, songs teaching you. Everywhere we look, we have messages, we have signs. And it's almost like God and the universe is constantly talking to us, but it's for us to really open our eyes and look at the signs, okay? So for example, if you read a book right now, and if I read a book, I will see that book in my perspective, and I will take from that book what was important for me and in my world. You had a whole different lesson from that book, what was important for you and in your life and your perspective, right? That's how we get those signs. Also, like people that come up to you. Like I recently met this guy in the weirdest way possible. Such a divine thing, okay? He taught me a lot about myself. He taught me about my attachment style in relationships, and he was like, Liz, you have an avoidant attachment style. And I was like, whoa, what is that? And explain to me. And it's basically that when a person feels more safe alone, they will like be in relationships, but they will never want to fully commit. And that's what I have. So I will, if someone brings up marriage to me, I get scared, okay? I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. But it's because in my head, I feel most safe when I'm alone, because I didn't have people around me when I was younger that I could trust. So when I felt safe was when Liz was alone in her room. That's when I felt safe. So I constantly go back to that. I never even thought about my attachment style, because what I constantly attract are anxious attachment people. So these are people that have abandonment issues. They're afraid of getting rejected. They're afraid of getting abandoned. And because of that trauma, they get obsessed with me, because I kind of reject them. I kind of always hold this distance, you know, but both of us are acting out of a trauma response. That was so interesting when that person told all of this to me, because I was starting to realize when I was meeting more people, like, I don't like how they become so almost obsessed or controlling over me immediately. And then I started to realize, but I'm attracting anxious people that all have rejection wounds, that have abandonment wounds. And because of the way I act, which is in a rejecting way, they become obsessed. Not because I'm a great person, but because I'm their trauma. And when I realize this, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to start to work on my own issues so I won't attract these people anymore, because it's scary. But look how this person came into my life to teach me that, and for me to change that. What you can also do is take a paper and write down, okay, who am I? What do I love? What don't I love? What do I do for fun? What are my hobbies? What were my hobbies when I was younger? How do I want people to treat me? How do I think that I treat people? These are all questions you can write down and ask yourself, and you'll have all the answers. You'll have like this little example of who you are as a person. Another thing is living in the now. And this is something my sister has told me so many times lately, because I was like, oh, Sabina, but I want to achieve this. Oh, Sabina, in a month, I'm going to do this. And she constantly reminds me, Liz, live in the now. Just think about now. Live your life right now. Look at, around you, live now. And constantly, because I'm reminded of that, I feel like I appreciate life more, and I'm not running from it. I feel like my whole life I've just been running and going to the next thing. And that's why I've never felt fulfilled by anything, because I'm not acknowledging it, you know? I'm not acknowledging it. Yeah, okay, I went viral. I went viral on YouTube. Amazing. People would have thrown a party because of it. I was just like, no, what's next? What's next? What's next? That's why I never realized what was happening, because I was never living in the now. I was always living in the future. That's how anxiety comes up. That's how you have more stress, because you're constantly thinking about the future. But if you think right now, what can I do now? What I have? What tools can I use? And what can I create now? That's when you create the future. Because the future doesn't exist, right? Past also doesn't exist. What you have is now. When you don't appreciate now, nothing else will flourish. Good to have goals, but don't live for it. Don't live for the future. Don't become a slave of the future. What people think about you is none of your business. People can think whatever they want, okay? When you put something out there, when you create something, you will always attract people on your vibration or that are meant to see whatever you put out. Whether it's positive or whether it's negative, they were meant to see what you put out there. You just have to create. That's it. All of the rest doesn't matter because it's not your business. You will never control their minds. You will never control how they think. And that's just, why would you want to be in someone else's head? Be in your own head. Think about your own stuff. Why are you there? Be here. Be present again. As you start to realize that what others think about you is none of your business, and whether you are the best person on earth, they will not like you still. You can be the most PG, nice person ever, and people will still have something bad to say about you. When you accept that, you know what? Criticism, I love it. It's a part of life. You have the good, you have the bad, and it's beautiful both ways. When you accept that, you live like yourself authentically. You don't have any fear because you don't have anything to worry about. I don't have to. Why would I worry about millions of people's brains? Why? I don't have time for that. So I just put myself out there, and what you think of it, it's up to you. But somewhere you saw that video of me because you needed that. Whether it hurt you or whether it helped you, you needed that. Last but not least, I think believing in yourself is one of the highest ways of connecting with yourself. You know, when everyone tells you like, oh no, you don't deserve to have that, you don't deserve to have this, and you tell yourself, but I do. I want whatever I want in life. If I want to have the best life, and if I want to say, let's live like a queen, and I want to be treated like a queen, I can have that. And who is anyone to say that I don't deserve that? Lots of people have it. It exists in this world. Whatever exists, I can have as well. Start to say that to yourself when you're like, you know, I want to be the most confident, beautiful, amazing, smart person that I am. That's it. That's how fast life will change for you because you decided that for yourself. That's who you want to be and that's who you already are. So you start unlocking that version of you. If you listen to, no, you shouldn't be living like that. No, you shouldn't have this. No, you shouldn't. When you listen to that, it will cloud your mind. It will start to be like, oh my God, no, they told me I was not deserving of a good life, so now I won't have a good life. But what are you, a slave? What are you, a slave to these people? No, really start thinking to yourself, am I a slave or am I a free spirit? Am I a free soul that came to this earth to live my best life possible and to help and create in this earth the best way possible? Really, one thing in life that I've always valued because I didn't have it was freedom. And I'll be damned if someone ever takes that away from me again. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from this video. And yeah, I see you in the next video. Bye-bye. I love you.